Did you know that your silence is a mental torment for a narcissist? It acts like a silent curse, gradually causing them to crumble in helplessness and despair. They crave attention and admiration, yet you respond with absolute silence. They seek control and manipulation, but you strip away all their weapons. Your silence shatters every rule of the game they've set, depriving them of the energy that fuels their distorted ego. They become confused, fearful, and insecure when they cannot read or predict you. Let's explore together the magical power of silence and why it becomes such a torment for narcissists. Your silence shatters the game that the narcissist has carefully constructed. Narcissists always believe they can hold power over and control you. They never expect you to pivot and counter them with strategies like the grey rock method or silence. When you strip away supply your attention and reactions, they are left shocked and disoriented. Engaging with a narcissist is like being dragged into an endless power game, where every rule is designed by them to maintain dominance. For them, your attention is the only oxygen keeping them alive. Every word you say, every emotion you express, even your resistance, becomes a tool for them to manipulate and control, feeding their inflated sense of self and power. But did you know that your silence is the ultimate weapon to dismantle this toxic game? By ceasing to respond, refusing to play along in the emotional battles they orchestrate, you are cutting off their most vital resource, your attention. Without reactions, without emotions to exploit, the narcissist begins to lose their sense of control, and the facade of arrogance they wear starts to crack. At first, your silence will leave them bewildered. They won't understand what's happening, why their familiar tactics are no longer working. They will pull out all the stops to draw you back into their orbit, sweet words to charm you, fits of rage to intimidate you, or even crocodile tears to evoke your sympathy. But if you remain steadfast in your silence, refusing to re-engage in their game, their power will gradually erode. With no one left to manipulate, no one to exploit, they are forced to confront themselves, a hollow, insecure, and fragile person hiding beneath a mask of arrogance. For a narcissist, facing their imperfect, vulnerable, and fallible self is their greatest fear. It's not just a minor setback. It's the most brutal punishment they could endure, a devastating blow to their fragile ego, which they have protected at all costs. In the narcissist's world, there is no punishment more terrifying than your indifference. They can't read your emotions. When you choose silence, you're not just refusing to participate in the narcissist's toxic game, you're pushing them into a state of insecurity and confusion, like a cornered animal. They can't read your emotions, can't predict your next move, and that terrifies them. Paranoia creeps in, filling their minds with unsettling questions. Are you silently planning a counterattack? Are you looking for ways to expose their true face? This ambiguity makes them feel out of control, a state they despise the most. In the past, you may have poured your heart out in long messages, desperately trying to explain, reconcile, or clarify the truth. But to them, your words were never taken at face value. Instead, they saw them as signs of weakness, opportunities to manipulate you further, pulling you deeper into their cycle of control. They never listened, because to them, you were merely a source of emotional fuel that fed their sense of power. Now, everything has changed. By choosing silence, you've taken back the card of your emotions, refusing to let them hold it anymore. They don't know which role to play to regain your attention, a remorseful apologizer, a pitiable victim, or an angry intimidator. None of their scripts work because you're no longer part of their performance. Your silence feels threatening to them, but not because of any specific action you've taken. It's the ambiguity and helplessness it brings that unnerves them. In the narcissist's distorted world, where everyone is assumed to be as selfish and manipulative as they are, paranoia sets in. They begin to fear that you're planning revenge, that you might turn the tables and treat them as they've treated you. This paranoia doesn't just make them anxious, it exposes the deep insecurities they've worked so hard to mask with their confidence and arrogance. They'll attempt to escape this confrontation by escalating their manipulative tactics, doing everything in their power to provoke you into re-engaging. But if you hold firm in your silence, you're sending a powerful message. I am no longer part of your game. I am reclaiming control of my life. Silence protects your energy. Imagine this. Right now, the narcissist is relentlessly carrying out a smear campaign against you. They are fabricating lies, distorting truths, and spreading misinformation to tarnish your reputation and sabotage your relationships. Your instinct might urge you to stand up and fight back, to defend yourself and clear your name. But wait, that's the very trap the narcissist has set for you. Any explanation or justification you provide only adds fuel to the fire, making their smear campaign even more effective. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Those who truly love and understand you will trust and support you unconditionally. As for those who choose to believe the narcissist lies, they've revealed their shallow nature. They are not worth your time or concern. After smearing your name, the narcissist will smugly wait for your reaction, but when you remain completely silent and refuse to engage, they will feel threatened. The control they crave so desperately begins to slip from their grasp. Confused and frustrated, they'll escalate their attacks in a frantic attempt to provoke you into responding. But you've seen through the narcissist's nature. Using your wisdom and calmness, you rise above their toxic games. You become a discerning observer, standing outside their chaotic spiral and focusing instead on healing your own emotional wounds. By choosing silence, you conserve your energy, protect your peace, and refuse to let them pull you into their vortex of manipulation. This quiet strength is your most powerful tool for breaking free and reclaiming your life. Your silence forces them to confront themselves. In their distorted world, chaos is an essential part of their existence. They don't know how to find peace because peace requires confronting their unhealed wounds and buried emotions. Instead, they choose noise, conflict, and drama to avoid the truth, to deceive themselves into believing they are strong and invulnerable. Silence and peace are their most feared enemies. Quietness acts as an honest mirror, reflecting the chaotic corners they work so hard to conceal behind their perfect facade. To them, stillness isn't a refuge, it's a threatening emptiness, a space where their insecurities and deep wounds have the chance to rise to the surface. That's why they gravitate toward noise, arguments, and drama as a sedative for their unstable souls. Chaotic situations, teardrum confrontations, and emotional theatrics aren't just tools to manipulate others. They are also a way to distract themselves from the inner storm that rages within. Like a small boat lost in a tempest, they seek external storms to forget the raging waves inside. Sometimes even the smallest misstep from the past, a casual comment or a fleeting glance, can ignite a battle. These battles are never about seeking truth or resolving conflicts. They are simply avenues for them to reassert their power. They will drag you into a tangled web of accusations, lengthy justifications, and calculated interrogations. And when you try to explain, defend, or reconcile, you'll realize that your efforts are futile. Their goal was never to listen or understand. It was only to see you entangled in their game, confused, exhausted, and powerless. These confrontations often erupt at the moments when you most need peace. It might be a weekend you've been looking forward to, a long-anticipated vacation, or a cozy evening with your family. The times when you want to savor joy and relaxation are sabotaged by their baseless fury. They don't care about your fatigue or burnout because their instability always takes center stage. What's most important to remember is this: you are not part of their storm. You are not responsible for fixing or saving them from themselves. No amount of love, understanding, or sacrifice on your part will ever calm the storm within them. As someone who has survived their chaos, you have the right to choose your path. You can choose silence over arguments, letting go over holding on, and moving forward instead of being trapped in their whirlwind. Remember, the storms they create aren't a sign of strength, but evidence of their inability to control themselves. And you, with your inner peace and strength, don't have to be swept away. You are not a victim of the storm. You are someone who has found the light at the end of the tunnel. Silence is a sign that you have found inner strength. Silence, an inner power you've always possessed, has now become your most powerful weapon to break free from the narcissist's control. In the past, you may have been too focused on maintaining the relationship, seeking answers, or trying to change them, forgetting that silence is one of the most valuable tools you can wield. You gave too much energy to someone undeserving, and now it's time to reclaim it all. Once you understand the true nature of a narcissist, you realize that arguing, explaining, or attempting to change them is futile. Silence, on the other hand, becomes your best form of self-defense. Each time they provoke, manipulate, or try to control you, respond with silence. Do not let them exploit your emotions or find any bait to fuel their hunger for power. Cut all contact with the narcissist. Block their number, discard gifts, letters, or any memorabilia tied to them. Don't let curiosity, even for a moment, tempt you to reopen a door that you've already closed. You know that any interaction, no matter how small, will pull you back into the toxic spiral. Narcissists are masters at exploiting even the smallest cracks, and if you let them back in, you'll find yourself starting over in your healing journey. Silence is not merely the absence of words. It is a manifestation of inner strength, control, and focus. When you are silent, you no longer waste energy responding to or engaging in their toxic games. Instead, you direct all your attention inward, towards self-care, healing, and personal growth. Silence is how you listen to your own heart, understand your past wounds, and build a solid foundation to move forward. Narcissists cannot tolerate silence. Your indifference leaves them confused and feeling powerless. They will attempt to provoke you in every way possible, through sarcastic remarks, fake apologies, or emotional tricks like feigned remorse or reminiscing about happy memories. But don't be fooled. Every moment you maintain your silence, you are asserting your power, declaring that you are no longer part of their game. Silence is not just a tool for protection, it is also a pathway to healing. When you refuse to respond to the narcissist, you give yourself the time and space to restore your energy, rediscover your true value, and rebuild your life. This is not just recovery, it's a rebirth. Every moment you spend focusing on yourself is a step forward toward becoming a stronger, freer, and happier version of yourself. Stay steadfast in your silence. See it as a bold declaration. I refuse to be a victim. I refuse to let anyone else control my life. I choose freedom. If not now, then when? This is your time to live for yourself, to choose and decide for your own life. You don't need to explain or prove anything to anyone. You owe nothing to anyone except yourself. You've already given so much, devoted yourself fully to relationships, family, and life. You've been a victim of abuse, of narcissists who sought to bring you down, but you've overcome all of that, and you've grown stronger. Now you can confidently say no to things that don't serve you, to toxic relationships. Every time you say no to others, you are saying yes to yourself, to your values, and to your beliefs. Trust in yourself, in your strength, and in the freedom you've reclaimed. That is the true path to happiness. The healing journey may not be easy, but it is worth every effort you make. You've escaped the narcissist, a challenge not everyone can overcome. Now keep moving forward, closing the door on the past without looking back. Your future deserves light, peace, and healthy relationships. Like a mountain standing tall amidst the storm, your silence is a symbol of unshakable strength. Be proud of what you've endured, and continue using your silence to build a life full of meaning, fulfillment, and hope. That is your true power. Your silence is not just a refusal to engage in the narcissist's toxic games, it is also the strongest manifestation of your inner power. It not only shields you from further harm, but also forces the narcissist to confront their true self, empty, insecure, and out of control. When you choose silence, you are declaring that you are no longer a source of emotional supply for them. You are reclaiming control over your life and focusing on your journey of healing and personal growth. This is not just liberation, it is a powerful affirmation of your own worth. Remember, your silence is your most powerful weapon. It is not a sign of weakness but a beacon of light guiding you out of the darkness of manipulation. So, stand firm in your silence and continue walking your path toward freedom and happiness. Thank you for watching. If you found this content helpful, please like, subscribe and share to spread this positive message to more people. See you in the next video.